Hey guys, back out here. We are on part 3 of the Mustang. Yeah, I'm not going to go as in depth on this one. The last video was painfully long, and I don't really need to go in depth because it's basically the exact same thing on the passenger side as it is the driver's side, just reversed. I will, however, show a little bit if I run into anything extra or different. I'll give the little updates, but I'm also going to hopefully in this video include some floor pan work. This thing needs a partial patch on the driver's side and then just a couple little small patches on the passenger side. So I will try to include all that stuff too in this video and not drag this out much longer. I think the last video pretty much summed up what a lot of people's questions and stuff were that they had about how to do that, how to do the frame rails and the strut towers, and you can pretty much tell in the last one. So let's go check out this for a little bit though. Alright, like I said, that side I did go ahead and finish welding and grinding that side much better. It's all fully welded solid now, inside and out. You can kind of tell there, a lot better. But I've already ground it all and everything, and from there we'll just clean it up, the rest of it, prime our area, and then that's probably about all we're going to be doing to it. I think he's going to take care of the rest of it. This side here though, it wasn't quite as bad, so I don't think we're going to run into too many issues. I'm going to cut it out exactly the same, and yeah, hopefully get this side done a little quicker than the other side. But don't forget the brake arm bracket or the cable bracket there, and same as the other side. But yeah, the main thing though is this floor pan that I want to show in this video. I'm not replacing the whole pan because I don't need it. You guys can tell it's really good and solid. So it's actually only rusted back to about here. So there's a support right in here somewhere, I believe. I'll get up under there and look, but we're basically just going to cut it out, up there where it's bad, up underneath that piece there, and then bring it out here, and I'll just flange it here somewhere and just weld that thing in instead of bringing it clean back into here. There's really no need in it. But we'll get on into that later. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting on the passenger side. Alright guys, I've already came in here and made a cut here, and you can see this side really ain't no better than the other. Just wanted to give a little short update and show that before I started cutting on it too much. It's all gone. Oh, there it is. There's the passenger side laying right there. Alright, I'll get back to cutting now. Alright, we're back. Just quick update. We got this side all welded up. It's all done. Nice and solid now. I didn't show a whole lot. Like I said, it was exactly the same. So, I didn't really run into any issues. Yeah, everything went pretty smooth. I'll go ahead and finish grinding and cleaning this stuff up here and on the back side before I prime it all and whatnot. But next we're going to go ahead and move on to the floor pan. I went ahead and the floor pan came in. I didn't really show this, but I went ahead and cut the pan in half because, like I said, I don't need it all. The rust doesn't come back that far. I don't need the whole pan in here to be in my way. We're only repairing basically what's rusted there. So you see I've got plenty of material extra. But the reason is right up in here is the supports for the cross member. So I'm going to stay right in front of that, and that'll keep having to deal with cutting into those pinch welds and everything all around there and having to redo that. So that kind of makes it difficult and a pain in the butt. So we'll try to stay away from that. But anyway, I've already got this cut down, so now I'll go ahead and get it in there, mark it a little better, and finish cutting it down kind of how I need it, and then mark this up here, and then go ahead and get it cut out. We'll be back. All right, we are back in here whacking at this floor pan. I went ahead and made my cuts to get rid of the rust on the floor pan part. So I still got a little bit of crumbing to do over here on this side. I don't know if you can see it. Got to cut that old lip out so our new lip will weld up there nicely, and then still a little bit of stuff to cut out up here that's above and beyond our floor pan a little bit, but we will get to that in a few minutes. Right now we're going to focus on getting this pan out. So I went ahead and cut it kind of where I wanted it, and you guys can see, you know, it's, I'll show you that brace that I was talking about right there. I'm plenty away from it, so that way I can get good weld, good penetration. That makes sure this is done right. It's gonna last him. Anyhow, so I made my 4 cuts. Now I'll go in there with my air hammer with my cutter bit. Just kind of pry it up a little bit and get up underneath that frame, and hit it done. And it'll actually come right on up really easy. I'll go ahead and finish doing that, and we'll be back as soon as I get it out. Alright guys, I've shown this a few times. I talked about it a little bit earlier. This is kind of how I do it. Other people do it different ways. Some people butt weld it, but I always like to put a flange on mine. And what all that does is bends this lip down here real nice, and it gives, I cut this out a little bit big. I don't know if you guys can tell that. I left a notch here and made the, the piece a little bit bigger. And this new pan will lay right down in this groove that I'm notching here. And I'll just run this across there all the way, and then right here I'll just grind it out a little bit where you can't get the flange tool, and that way it'll still lay flat. But then I'll give that a nice solid weld across there, tack it up, and you guys can check it out when we're done. Alright guys, real quick, I wanted to get in here and show you it went together pretty good. I'll have to go ahead and hold it down a little bit. I'm the only one here today, so I gotta film and do it all, but yeah, so I'll go ahead and get this thing kind of tacked in place, and otherwise it fits pretty good. But one thing I did want to go over is I get asked questions quite a bit, and that's about my welder settings. And the best thing I can tell you guys that have questions about it is there's a YouTuber named, or his channel's Fitzees Fabrications. If you haven't checked him out, check him out for sure. He has an in-depth video, well, tons of them. He's a very brilliant guy. But he has an in-depth video on setting up your MIG welder and how to weld this sheet metal and stuff. And if you haven't done that, if you haven't seen that video, if you don't know anything about him, get over there and give him a subscribe. I'll try to put a link down below, or put the name down below in the comment or in the description. But yeah, it's better for you guys to watch his video than it is for me to try to explain how to do this. But I'm gonna go ahead and set this back up and start tacking this in, and and we'll be back. All right, guys, I had to take a short break, and it's all tacked in pretty good enough. It's not going anywhere. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's kind of hard to see in here with limited light and stuff, but this inner part here, a little bit of this bottom portion was rotted, but underneath the support is in really good shape. It's not hurt at all, so it's just this part here. So I went ahead and cut that out there, and I've made a new piece almost exactly, you know, like that. I just went ahead and made it a little bit longer here, so, which isn't going to hurt anything. It's just going to be, you know, extra support. And I'll go ahead and drill a couple holes here and put that just in place, just like that, and give that a good solid weld, and then go ahead and finish welding all this up, and then this side will be done, guys. A little seam sealer and what have you, and we'll have this side finished up. If you guys have any comments, make sure you drop them down below. I'll try to answer them as quick as possible. There's tons of videos out there on this stuff, guys, that definitely go into a lot better detail and explanation and what have you, but yeah, this thing's going together pretty nice, and if you like what you see, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. All right, guys, we are back. We got everything completely welded, solid. That's one thing I do make sure I do on these Fox bodies, is weld everything completely solid. I don't just tack it here and there, you know, and then seam seal like you see some people do. This thing is fully welded all the way around. And then, well, I also did this little patch over here. It's all fully welded. Kind of hard to see, but yeah, make sure you guys weld that up, and then from here I'm going to go ahead and clean this and pour 15 the whole entire inside of the floor to keep this from happening again. Well, to help keep from it happening again. But also I wanted to say though real quick, the reason a lot of these rot out here on these corners, and a lot of people are not aware of, is and something I should have shown, but I guess I got a little ahead of myself. And a lot of these corners on these Foxes, they start rotting out. Leaves and stuff build up in here and they rot out. So it's important to clean that out and cut this frame section out and take a look in there, because usually your rod is going to be somewhere right in here where you can easily get to and patch. If you don't fix this stuff, you might as well expect to be putting another floor pan in it soon. And this side was the worst of them. You guys can kind of tell even more how I done that. Cut the section out here, and then I cut that section out. This one was pretty big, but it's all fixed now. Now you don't have to worry about any more water or anything running down in there. And of course, a lot of you guys know this is the, you know, where the computer is, and that was a big hole there. So now that's all taken care of. He should be fine. But on to the next, we'll go ahead and get everything sanded and primed and finish this thing up. I don't think I'm doing any paint work on it. I got to get with the owner yet, but I think he pretty much was just wanting metal work and, you know, all the hard stuff knocked out, and he can finish the rest. But if you guys got any comments or questions about anything I've done, make sure you drop them down below. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Tell your friends if they got a Fox. Yeah, like I said, guys, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I always try to get back as soon as possible. All right, guys, that's all we got for this video. We're going to wrap it up. If you learned anything, make sure you give us a subscribe and a like. And if you got any questions or comments, like I said, drop them down below. I'll try to get back with you guys. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.